Hey Capricorn, this will be your reading for the month, the first part of July. So like for the first couple weeks or so of July. And we are going to look at love, and then the second part we'll look at career, work, finances, that sort of thing. So we'll get started right away and look into love for Capricorn. Highest, clearest information, please, for Capricorns that will be watching this video. Highest, clearest information for Capricorns, please. I'm going to take a quick peek at the recent past. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I just felt like I should on this. Yeah, the Ten of Swords had wanted to come out before. That's why that prompted me to do this. And it came out now as well. So it seems like, there was, recently, and this is a reading for the beginning of July. So this probably would have happened, at some point in June. It just looks like something's changed. The dynamic has changed. Maybe the entire thing has changed. Maybe it's like completely done. I'm not sure. We have, until we get there. We have the Wheel card here with the Ten of Swords and the Page of Swords, okay, in your recent past. So we have Page of Swords, we have the Wheel, and we have the Ten of Swords. So it just looks like, to me, this is a pretty, like you are just done with the bullshit and you just want to move on, and you just want to keep things moving. That's what it seems like to me. I feel like I don't feel it's like usually with the Ten of Swords, I get like sort of a heavy vibe, and it is a heavy vibe, but I feel like with this Star card at the bottom of the deck that there's hope. This isn't like you're just completely in despair, or feeling like all is, and maybe some of you are. That could be, yeah, but either way, like you still have this, there's like this star of hope, within that I think, possibly could come through, into something better. Let's take a look and see what's going on then for July. This was the recent past. So could have been a betrayal of sorts. Could have just been that you were just kind of done, kind of deal too. So let's take a look here. See what's going on for love for Capricorn in the first part for July. Highest, clearest information, please, for Capricorn love only. Moving on, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So you have some things coming in. I had a feeling that would be the deal, but I think right now is still kind of the I don't necessarily like the word residue, but it kind of fits with this, a situation of kind of like what's still kind of playing out. I still see you, though, as strong, even though this is hard, even though this is hurt, and all of those things. I still see you strong. You have the Chariot card here with the Four of Cups. So, I mean, it's possible you were dealing with a Cancer. That's very possible, too, because this particular Four of Cups has the crab stamped on the forehead. And then we have the Chariot card as well. But I tend to look at this as more, and that's, it's possible you're dealing with a Cancer. But to me, this kind of represents somebody who is going solo now, and it's not so much like you're okay with it, like woohoo, this is so great, or anything like that, but like you are okay with it, like from coming from a good place, solid place, and because this Chariot card is a lot different. There's only one horse that is driving this chariot with a lotus flower in the back, so it's how cool is that? We don't have the duality anymore, the back and forth. This is one direction, with the peace and the growth, and the beauty and grace of the lotus flower that they're carrying, so I like that. And I also like this too, because the Four of Cups, this is very much, it's a meditation card. It's a spiritual card. It's a going within and really, looking at the root of things and the truth of things, and, getting to the heart of like really what you want and what you want to do to be victorious, in love, or what, whichever aspects of your life, but mostly that's what we're dealing with in this reading. So, it's not going to come easy though. It's not like oh my god, it's it's just this easy road or anything like that. I get that. Your obstacles. You have the Five of Cups, you have the Nine of Swords. So there is some sorrow here. There is a lot of feeling unnoticed. Going through this crisis. Like feeling alone, like not really too many people that you can reach out to, and kind of taking this all on, and it's heavy. It's heavy, it's dark, but I still think though through this, even with this, we have this disappointment, these spilled out cups, and all this, but we have this like beautiful waterfall in the back. In this one, she or he, it's hard to tell, is very, remorseful, sad, all of those things. But, there's like this like shadow wolf kind of, accompanying her, and or him, I'm not sure. And there's, it's hard to see, and it doesn't come out well on the camera. I can see, from what you're seeing. But for me, it's a lot more prevalent. It's almost like the star card. It's just like a star, bright in the background, but it's behind, but it's shining, shining that hope. This is like the entrance here, so that's a good thing. But it's hard, I get it. But ultimately, I think this already. I don't think you even need a tarot reading to know this. It's like to me, this is somebody who knows exactly kind of what is going on and how they are going to pull themselves out of it and continue on victoriously in all of those things. The outcome being, I think, there's a possibility that with this whole situation, you've been kind of preoccupying yourself with other things and building those up. And now kind of, it's become like a lot of tasks, a lot of things on your plate to deal with that initially were supposed to just be distractions from what was really going on, if that makes sense. So I think at this point, pretty quickly, you're going to come to that realization that, you are carrying a lot of sticks, as you will, heavy burdens as what they kind of represent in this particular card. And just let them fly where they will. You're going to take care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of, but everything else that's like, superficial, unimportant, doesn't need your immediate attention. Those types of things, I think, you're going to realize what needs to be done, what doesn't, and kind of let that stuff go. And in doing that, you're going to take this leadership role of yourself. You're going to take control of yourself with this Emperor card. And what's good is in the future, because we have the Three of Wands, and, I think something's coming in for you because of this. We have the King of Cups, and we have some sort of new start here with this Ace of Coin. So something is on its way to you, I believe, when these sticks get dropped, okay? So let's see what's coming towards you. Oh, my. A whole stack of cards. Too many to pick up here. I don't think that was like one of those meaning to fall out cards. Let's see. It was like 10 cards. Okay, so let's take a look here at what's coming towards Capricorn in love in this first part of July. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck on their side too. So I think this is still just the same story playing out. I'll try to take a look at what else may be coming in for you, because I did see, but I think the reason that those cards, I said in the future, it looks like somebody was wanting to come through and it looked like a stable, good thing. But I think this needs to be dropped first before that's able to come in. I think that's why we're not seeing it right now. Because what I'm seeing is the other side of whatever that was that I talked about, your recent past that was over and that sort of thing. So that's the kind of picture that we are seeing now. We are still seeing that person. So this could even be a marriage, possibly, because, I have the Hierophant here with the Three of Swords. So this is, it's a breaking up of a pretty solid commitment is what I see from this other person's side. Their obstacles are really kind of just knowing what to do and family and their happiness and all of that stuff. It's it's elusive to them. This happiness, that they once thought they had or wanted or, were working towards, that sort of Ten of Cups, everything. Ten of Cups represents kind of the all, love, family, nice home, all those types of, comforts, children, all of that. And that's in their obstacle section. And they kind of just don't know how to deal with that. So they're kind of not, most likely. Or maybe they are, actually. Because we do, we have them with the Eight of Pentacles. So this person wants to protect what they have. So I will give this warning, if this is like a possible dissolution of a marriage or something like that, this person very much wants to protect what they have. Their home, their whatever riches or things they've gathered, possibly even, pets and children, things like that. They want to protect that. So do be careful of that. They do see, this is, again, we have the Ten of Swords here. So, yeah, very interesting. Let's see. Now, this could mean they want to protect the marriage or the if this is not a marriage, the long-term commitment that you guys have had. And they don't quite want to give up yet because the Ten of Swords didn't exactly come out in their read. They're just heartbroken. I do see that. So maybe let me double check that, because maybe that's not them protecting what they have. Maybe they want to protect, what you guys have. Let me take a look at that and clarify that. Okay, so I'm sorry, let me close this little window that just popped up on my computer. Go away. Close. There we go. Okay. Some sort of secretive behavior around this whole thing. And there's some communications going back and forth. A couple, I'll give you a couple scenarios. And the thing is, and I'll try to do a singles reading too, because this is very much a couples reading and probably a married couple and probably exactly what I was talking about. I think this might be we might be seeing the end of something that has been, prevalent in your life. So if it's possible that you guys are married and you're watching this and you are perhaps on the verge of separating or divorce, I would say that most likely the partner, whoever it is on the other side, is communicating in secret about how to protect their, what they have, which is natural. So it's not like that's such an underhanded, sneaky thing to do. I know it sounds like it is, and it may sound like that to you, but I mean, it is, it's not, I'm sorry, natural isn't the right word. It's not natural. That's the wrong word, but it's normal is what I meant to say. So it's typical. I don't think this is like sneaky, underhanded things going on. I don't get that vibe. This person is brokenhearted. All right. So, and they kind of are looking at how to protect things and keep things in order. It's a possibility that that's you that they're looking to, like I said, that maybe they're just looking how to protect what's left of what you guys have. Use your intuition in this case, if that might be the deal, could be. But I tend to think it's the other, thing that they might be communicating about, maybe with attorneys or or just family member, people they trust or something about like what they should do and things like that about how to protect what they have. And you may be so caught up with a bunch of tasks and burdens and things like that that you may not see this coming, because this is, kind of blinding your vision, and you're just kind of going along on this path, taking care of these things little by little by little that you might not notice this is going on. So that's just, a bit of a heads up. I'm going to move real quick from this because I'm going to try, since that was a very obvious message, I'm going to try and do a quick singles reading. Let me see. I'm going to watch my time. I got a reading in a few. Okay, let's see. All right. Singles, Capricorn singles. Any Capricorn singles out there? What's going on for them? Give me something. And then we will look at work and career too. Capricorn singles. If anybody wants to timestamp Capricorn singles at 1540, that would be great. Capricorn singles. Capricorn's highest, clearest information, please. Okay, all right, cool. So somebody new coming in. We got the Ace of Coin. That's nice. Let's see. All right, interesting. So it looks like you might even have a choice, because we have two twos here in the start. So this is the Two of Wands, and then we have the Lover's card, which is two people. So it looks like a choice between two possible candidates. All right. Could be a fire sign and a water sign. That could be the deal. Let's take a look here, see which one comes out the strongest. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. It could be an earth sign too. That's very possible. That's likely. Let's see. Who's looking good here? Who's looking good for Capricorn? Who's the Ace of Pentacles? Let's go with that. Who's the Ace of Pentacles? That's nice, grounded, good, good growing energy towards something good. Who is the Ace of Pentacles? Coming towards Capricorn. Okay. Ooh, Two of Cups. Nice. All right. And we have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So, and more cups. This very well could be a water sign, but that's very grounded with a lot of earth energy. Okay. So, or, vice versa. It could be the other way too. Two of Cups coming your way. Capricorn for singles. That is awesome. You have the Ace of Coin. That means, this is solid. This is something that could possibly go somewhere. All right. And this could be a really good connection. Most likely it will be a connection that is a little bit different for you. Okay. Just judging from this deck, it's probably something that's like, maybe, not your normal type, kind of deal. But I think you guys are going to really connect. It's really, really strong. Let's see. Sun and King of Cups. Anything I want to say there? Obstacles would be maybe coming on too strong, Capricorn. This could work two ways. Either they are that way or you could be that way. So, I would, your obstacle is like perhaps coming on a little bit too much, the person that you may connect with may have children, very small children. So that could be an obstacle for you, possibly. And they could be possibly a little bit older than you're used to also. Maybe a bit of a drinker, not necessarily alcoholic. I don't necessarily see that, but, a little indulgent in that way. So that's possible. Okay, those scenarios could be the obstacles. It could be a lot of things, but those are a few of the things that I'll throw out there that could be. Either way, though, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, this is stable. This is, it's like real connection here. This is a very nice connection. So one of these choices, is the right one. All right. So, and you'll know, I mean, that's, and I was going to say the sign that I prefer over, but I really can't. There's so many here. So it's just going to be up to you. You're going to know, you're going to know which one is the fun one, and which one is the one that you really connect with and that you could possibly really build something with. You're going to know. Okay. All right. So let's move on to work, career, and all those good fun things. So if anybody feels free to, or feels like they would like to do the timestamp for career, it is at 1945. Career, work, finances, all that good stuff for Capricorn for the beginning of July. Coming up, Capricorn, work. Highest, clearest information, please, for Capricorns. Yep. Okay. Pretty non-eventful. I don't really see anything too crazy here. Hold on, let me just check the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords. Okay. And one more on that. Something's going down there, that's for sure. All right, so I don't think it's going to be too eventful right now, but something may be coming up. So for some of you, you may be starting something new. This is a clarifying card. This wasn't the original cards that came out are the Queen of Wands and the Six of Coin. Okay, so I just want to clarify it a little bit because I wasn't getting like a really strong message that was popping out at me for this. For I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. It just didn't seem like super eventful, which is common sometimes with work. It's not like there's always some big shakeup, for 2 weeks at work. So, but for some of you looking for work, this is good. We have a Page of Pentacles, something new, something fresh, new offer, that's very positive. But for others, I think that this tends to be more of, I think right now you're kind of keeping the balance of work. There's some sort of choice here, though, and the High Priestess there is just not telling me anything. I mean, it's about your intuition, so that could be why, but I'm trying to figure out what this is exactly. It's the Two of Wands. All right. Wow, this is a weird read. Got a lot of bosses in this. So this is either somebody looking for a job and they're interviewing with a lot of higher ups. It's possible. Or it's just somebody that's just you're in the position where you have to deal with a lot of higher ups, and like constantly. And probably all women. That's kind of what I see here too. Like a lot of upper management that are probably female. I know this is kind of odd sounding, but that's kind of what I'm getting. It's a really kind of a weird read. So for most of you, I'm just going to say this out, for most of you, I don't think this is like, going to resonate with many people. And I don't, to me, it looks like I said, like fairly non-eventful. So you don't have to really, there's nothing to really get too invested in here with. But for others, I mean, it's possible. This, to me, looks like there's a pretty good balance right now with where you're at. Maybe you've just recently taken kind of a little bit more responsibility at work. That could be with this Queen of Wands and Page of Pentacles. And it's perhaps been like kind of a little bit of a gift, a bonus to you, a little bit of extra coin in your pocket. That could be too. And things are pretty good right now. Maybe you're studying. You're doing some studies. The Page of Pentacles is all about studying and higher learning. things like that. Maybe you're just trying to balance that all out with like some sort of leadership role, at work also while you're learning new things. It could be a lot of different things. I mean, I'm not too concerned about it because I do have the tower here, but I had to pull a lot of cards to get there, and it just seems like something that may or may not come into play in the long run. Right now, it just seems like it's imperative to use your intuition to make sure that you stay on the right path with things, that you keep emotionally in control. I think that is pretty key for whatever it is you're going for. If you have some sort of choice that you have, to do, maybe it's between this leadership role and the schooling, or whatever it may be. I don't know. It's a little odd. It's just keeping the emotional maturity and making sure that you keep on track with things, and make sure you're following the true right path. And I think that's why the High Priestess is here, to ensure that, and to remind you to follow your intuition with things. That's what she's always there for, about your intuition. So lastly, I was a little concerned because the card that came out was the Queen of Swords, which sometimes is cutting things out. Okay, I don't see that like I don't see that in the respect of like you getting cut out, like you getting fired or anything like that. It would be more of you saying, I'm done with this, I'm moving on. And that is possible with this Tower card that comes later, but I don't think so. I think this is just a fairly medium kind of issue. I don't see it as a huge one, even with the Tower. You do have Justice in your favor. So I tend to look at this as like you're dealing with a lot of like I said, upper type management. They may be your peers too. I'm not sure, most likely female. And I think it's just about like just keeping the balance and strategizing, keeping on your game, keeping the balance. You've got 2 balance cards here. Others of you, maybe you're involved in a legal thing at work. If so, then, you have the Justice card. That's great. That's very positive, and strategy is on your side. So if you're looking at anything legal, from work, then, the strategizing is good and Justice comes out. That's really nice. That's a good thing. With the Tower too and Judgment, those are all good things. That I would see that as working in your favor. You got some weird cards at the bottom of the deck. Like I said, I clarified a little bit. We got Tower, we've got Judgment, we've got King of Cups, which is another boss-like type figure or authority type figure. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So, I mean, this, it is kind of a little bit of a fine line. Maybe, there's like a little hint of danger, with this. But I think you'll be okay. That's the overall feeling I get. It feels very kind of business as usual to me. I like whatever all this stuff is, I think you're used to managing all this. So I don't think it's any exciting thing that's going to be happening, in this first part of July. Now, after that, maybe, there might be some things coming in with that Tower card, some stuff that shakes things up, but I don't get like an ominous vibe from it or anything like that. If anything, it might be in your favor with the Justice card. So, sorry, it's a little odd for a career report, but not really, because honestly, like I said, it's not like, most of us just go and do our jobs and that's kind of what happens, and that's kind of what I see, for that 2 weeks, that like nothing super eventful. Just, it is saying to use your intuition to make sure you're choosing the right, choices and that sort of thing. Just be careful, make sure you're talking to the right people, at work. Make sure, just keep a little bit extra tab on yourself. That's all I'd say about that. High Priestess is there for a reason. Whatever, she's telling you, listen to it. If it's about work stuff, it's going to pay off in the long run with Justice. So, sorry, that wasn't more like compelling. All right. Okay, guys. So I will see you back for the second part of July readings, and we'll see what, transpires from there. So, all right, thanks, and enjoy, first part of the month. All right.